Welcome to the first episode of the American Dream podcast. I'm having some issues going live, so this is going to be a recorded version of the show. Now, I'm putting on my radio voice because I want this to be as laid back as a conversation as we can have. All right? So, I'm going to be doing a variety of things on my own here. I'm trying to pull graphics, communicate, and read from my loosely based script all at the same time. Luckily, this isn't my first rodeo. In vocational school, I had a show called the Shively Factor. I was the audio guy for the CCN News, and in college, I did some radio shows on the history of rock and roll. So bear with me. These things will get better as I get used to using them. All right, so this is starting off as a Facebook event, but you'll be able to catch this on YouTube if you want to watch it on replay from your television. And eventually, I'm going to try and get this audio out there to some podcast platforms. So, what is the American Dream Podcast? This show is going to consist of segments that I come up with from time to time, topics that we will discuss, if you will. First up, I want to tell you what the idea is behind the show. So I come up with this idea some time back, wanting to give people guidance on how they could achieve the American dream. At first, it was just going to be a series where I invited some guests on from the education world, the mortgage and credit world, and together, the objective was to help people find jobs and improve their credit so they could achieve the American dream. That's what it was going to be. Just a few episodes and I'm done. Unfortunately, I haven't had the time to do all that. But with realtors everywhere getting questions about the housing market and people wondering if it's a good time to buy or sell, I really felt like it was a good time to have this discussion with the community at large. So that is the basis for the first episode of this show and my first segment. All right. So what are the consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic to the housing market? The answer, in short, is we don't know yet. But I have purposely compiled a list of statistics to help gain some insight. The first is interest rates. All right, the first thing we want to look at is the interest rates. The graph there is just about a week old, but as you can see, interest rates are coming down. Why does that matter? Well, interest rates encourage buyers to buy. When the interest rate drops, it's a great time to buy and get locked into a house. All right. The next set of statistics come from the Ohio Realtors Association. The Ohio Realtors is the Ohio branch of the National Association of Realtors. On March 20th, they released a report to the media regarding home sales. Here's some of the numbers in that report. 8.8% increase in February sales from 2019 to 2020. The average price increased 8% from 2019 to 2020. Sales activity rose 10.6% from 2019 to 2020. 18 of the 19 reported markets tracked upswings, and 12 of those 19 posted outright gains. The president of the Ohio Realtors had this to say. Looking forward, we anticipate ebbs and flows in the activity levels throughout the marketplace as a result of the challenges of tight inventory levels of homes being marketed for sale, combined with the emergence and spread of the COVID-19 crisis. So, as I have said in the past, interest rates have buyers willing to buy. The issue seems to be in people willing to list. All right. Leading up to the coronavirus pandemic, the entire country had a healthy housing market. Right? The National Association of Realtors posted a 6.5% increase in sales for February. On a local level, we have what's called the Guernsey-Muskingum Valley Association of Realtors. However, before the show, I was unable to pull up any of their numbers, but I was able to get a few reports from the Zanesville Times-Recorder regarding property transfers. If I counted correctly, between February 24th and February 28th, there were 72 transactions reported. And between March 2nd and March 4th, we've seen 79 transactions reported. So that actually went up, all right? The one thing we've seen lately that would indicate a rough patch ahead is credit requirements. We are seeing this go up a little bit. Currently, it's a day-by-day thing. However, we also have lenders that are creative and are still willing to take a little added risk in trade for what we call points. To summarize, national, statewide, and local numbers in real estate seem to suggest the housing market is holding steady. We are seeing a lot of effort by the state and national government to support the housing market through this crisis. The federal government has pledged to purchase an unlimited amount of assets to support markets as they're needed. This is stabilizing the bond market. The $2 trillion stimulus that was just passed is a big part of helping people cover mortgages through this crisis. And many banks are offering deferrals on mortgages for those affected by the pandemic. Certainly, the housing market cannot expect to completely avoid the damage being done to the economy. However, comparisons to 2008 are really unfounded. After 2008, we have seen more responsible lending. It's simply much more difficult to get a home loan. This protects the market from inflated prices, which is what caused the crash of values in 2008. The NAR is also currently pushing for an act that would give realtors, lenders, and title companies the ability to close on transactions without face-to-face meetings. Taking a look at the big picture, it appears the housing market is going to make it through this pandemic. So, with all that said, now would be the time that I would ask you guys for questions. But unfortunately, because this is pre-recorded and I was unable to go live, I'm not going to be able to respond and interact with you guys. However, in the future, I plan on working these kinks out and figuring all of this out so that this can be an interactive experience. One thing that I do want to get across is that as a realtor, one of the things that they teach us in school is about the economic base, okay? The economic base of a community helps to feed the real estate industry. So really, it's within all of the realtors' interest to see a healthy economic base. That's why I am such a promoter of the local economy, local businesses, and really a big promoter of education and skilled trades, trying to get people in a position to not only elevate their own individual lives, but elevate the community around them. So that's the idea behind this show, the American Dream podcast, is to help people find a pathway to home ownership and good jobs and good credit. All right, so I appreciate you guys watching the first episode of the American Dream podcast presented by Perry Real Estate. I'll see you guys next time.